pounds of chicken wings cut up already. And what I mean cut up is we've got the drumette and we've got the flat. I left the wingtip on. That is totally optional. Some of you want to take it off. Most times I take it off, but today I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave it on, but I did trim off the pointy ends and the sort of pointy end that's usually here. I wash my chicken. It's something that I grew up doing, and we're very sensible about it. Once you're going through this, make sure to take out any extra feathers that you may see. If you invite a Caribbean person to your house, you serve them chicken with feathers, guarantee you they will not come back to eat at your house again. Now, if you don't want them coming back, by all means, leave those feathers in there. Wash it with the juice of a lemon and cool water. Rinsed it out properly. Pat it well, drained it dry, and here we are. We ain't splashing all over the place and getting on like a jack. You know what I mean? Anyhow, the wings are all there. We've got salt. And I like using sea salt. It's totally optional. Whatever salt you like using, you can certainly do that. Fresh ground black pepper. We've got Caribbean green seasoning, and my Caribbean green seasoning is made with olive oil. That's why you see that vibrant color and specks of red and everything. If you use vinegar or water in making it, it will go dull, it will go pale, and all that green vibrancy you won't see. And Caribbean green, I want 2 tablespoons of that in there. Yeah, let's put a little bit more, man. We've got Caribbean green seasoning, and if you head over to caribbeanpot.com, the recipe is there for that. I know there's a lot of people asking for it. It is there, and it is a blend or puree of all the herbs, along with garlic, some cases ginger, seasoning peppers, all those different things. We make a sort of puree and we keep it in the fridge. And whenever we're doing, it goes into just about all of our dishes. And the Spanish-speaking Caribbean got it, and the French-speaking Caribbean got it. We've got tomato all diced up. Yes, tomato in there. And the reason for adding that tomato in there is twofold. There's 2 reasons for adding that in there. One, the acidity in the tomato will help balance off the flavors. And when you're cooking, we've talked about this before, it's all about balance and finding that perfect balance. That is going to balance things off. And 2, later on as we cook this down, it's going to help develop that nice, strong, rich, thick gravy that we're looking for. I don't know if I said it already, but you would have seen me gone in there with the curry powder. And this is my homemade blend here. I have my own curry powder. If you want to go out and buy your own, make your own, whatever, do your thing. But curry powder. And the reason why I add the curry powder now, and this is tip number 3, it is because I want this chicken to marinate, and it's going to pull in all these flavors. And that curry is going to find its way deep into there. Some people, they add it to the browning process. Not so much. Add it here, you will get a better end result. Peep this for a second. And here's another little tip. Well, a sub tip. I have here some cilantro. I don't have access to coriander. Well, this is coriander. I don't have access to culantro or shadow benny. What I like doing, I cut the top green parts off, and this is the sort of woody, well, not woody, the stems part on the bottom. I'm going to shift that over. We're going to move this here, and it's been washed. I'm just going to hit that a rough little chop, and all these stems is going to make its way into the seasoning part. The seasoning part is so important that the more flavors we can add in here, you can put that in there as well too, but not so much tonight. That's going to go into the whole seasoning and marinating here. So I'm just going to shift this over. The more work you put into this step here, the better you get a better end result. I assure you of that. And speaking about developing flavor and that thick gravy, I've got an onion that I diced up as well. So far, let's recap. We've got salt, black pepper, curry powder, Caribbean green seasoning, and onion. We've got some little peppers here. The pepper I'm using today is one of these chili peppers. The reason why I'm using this one is I'm going to get a ton of flavor from it, but not that raw heat. If you want raw heat, by all means, go with your Scotch bonnet, your habanero, all those different things. Zaya is trying to be on camera today, but he's sick. He's down, so we are trying to encourage him to be in here right now. And we've got the onion, the tomato, the green seasoning, and the curry powder. That is it. What you want to do now is give this a good mix. after this has been mixed thoroughly. You really want, you know, typically I'd go in there with my hands and I'd massage that and make good, sweet love to that chicken with my hands. Anyhow, we ain't trying to be rude today. No, we don't know. Maybe little kids watching this, they're trying to get the little curry stew chicken on. So Uncle Chris have to keep it respectable. We will cover this. We will put it in the fridge and let it marinate for at least, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Come on, man. Don't let me, look, Will Smith already did it to Chris Rock. I will do it to all in a one slap. All right, anyhow. In the fridge, let it marinate for 2 hours. If you could do it overnight, even better. In the Caribbean, we would be using a Dutchy pot, which is pretty much an iron pot. I have a glazed iron pot here, so it will retain that heat. It will distribute that heat nicely. I've got a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. Most people will talk about the smoke point. I don't worry about that too much. Whether I use olive oil or vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, I will pretty much get the same amount of smoke happening here. High heat oil, dry pot, and we're going in with a tablespoon and a half of golden brown sugar. Now, I like using golden brown sugar. If you wanted to use dark brown sugar, I would go with 1 tablespoon of dark brown sugar. I find I get best results with that golden brown sugar. Now, people will complain about the spoon that I'm using. Metal, yo, is my thing, not yours. Irie. We're gonna move that around. And the reason why I move it around, you know, some people will tell you, you will see some chefs say, leave it, let it do its thing. No, and I will say why. There are hot spots on my stove. That corner and this corner, very hot, because that's where most of that flame is going for some reason or the other. Those areas will want to burn. And if you burn the sugar, we are not burning it. You know, I'll hear some people say, well, gosh, we're burning that brown stew and you got to burn the sugar. No, you're not burning the sugar. You're caramelizing that sugar. It's going to go frothy. It's going to melt. It's going to go frothy, and it's going to go a deep amber. When it gets to that deep amber, and pay attention, that is when you will add the seasoned chicken, marinade and everything to the pot. So I have to keep moving it around ever so often because I know I'm compensated for those hot spots. If it goes black, and we've talked about this before in other, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is the stew part of it. The curry part is the seasoning of it. It's seasoned with curry powder. If it burns, if it goes black, stop immediately. Turn off the stove, turn off the fan, vent your kitchen, let the pot cool down completely. Wash it, dry it, start back over. If it goes black on you, ladies and gentlemen, you will get bitter tasting chicken. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for your family, and I don't want that for your reputation. We will laugh at you at some point. Not today, but we will laugh at you, and we will shoo behind your back as my, them old people like to shoo, you know. All right, anyhow. You notice the colors we're starting to get? Pay attention. Now, I know I said marinate for 2 hours. We're fast tracking it. It's there. I just wanted to show you guys how to rock this right away because I might have to eat tonight. Now, you notice the hot spots I'm talking about? I want to say this. Now, I know for most cases, the recipe you use is going to be the recipe you grew up watching. I see a lot of people doing this sort of browning method and adding ketchup to here. You all need to stop that. Don't be trying to tell people traditional thing and ketchup adding in there is not traditional. Do your history, do your little homework. You notice the color we got? Boom, bam. The chicken wings are going in. So I'm going to put half. I'm going to move that around. Do not turn down the heat. Yeah, and you know, I'm not really hating on anybody for using the ketchup in there. If that is the way you learn to do it, well, that is the way you learn to do it. All I'm saying is, traditionally, that is not the way it is done. So you want to give this a good mix and make sure all those pieces of chicken, and I'm telling you, this kitchen is smelling incredible. Use uppercase letters when you say the word incredible. Your neighbors will be peeking over the fence trying to figure out what's going on because, yo, this is smelling real good. So we're just going to give that a stir. Heat still on high. We're going to put the lid on there and let that sprout its own juices. Do not turn down the heat. Please don't turn down the heat. It's been 4 minutes on that high heat. I had my lid on because I wanted to bring it up to temperature and get a vigorous bubble going, and that is what we have here. I'm going to keep stirring it. Now, what we're going to do here And this is another one of those important tips is all that liquid that you're seeing here that's sprouted up naturally, we want to burn that off. But burning that off, we're going to serve two things. We're going to maintain a lovely color, and two, we're going to develop that color, and two, we are going to get a deeper, richer flavor from the stewing process. Remember I said the curry comes from the seasoning part, the stew is what we're doing here right now. So lid off, we want to burn off all of that liquid and intensify that flavor. And in the same bowl where we marinated the chicken wings, now yes, chicken thighs, chicken drumsticks, chicken breast, all those things will work. Just about the same. In the same bowl where we marinated that chicken, we have 2 cups of water, and that's going to help for the gravy later and to finish cooking the chicken wings. Chicken wings will cook really fast. In about 20 minutes or so, you will have it. And I'm telling you, curry stew chicken wings is one of the, it's the most incredible ways you will ever enjoy chicken wings. And I'm telling you this because if you head over to youtube.com/caribbeanpot, where you are right now probably watching this, and you search for that recipe that I have on here, take a peek at how many views on there. It's been about 3 minutes since I moved the lid off there, and I want to show you something. Remember that onion and the tomato we started off with? Look how it's cooking down, and it's getting us a nice thick base. That is going to be the base for our gravy. We're almost there where all that liquid is burnt off, but we really want to try and get back to where we see some oils on the bottom there. So we still got a couple more minutes to go. At this point, yeah, you thought I was forgetting the ginger. No, we are not forgetting the ginger, another important ingredient. At this point, we want the ginger in there because what's going to happen is, now keep in mind, the ginger will give it a peppery note. So if you're trying not to be too spicy, you may want to hold back a little bit on some of the ginger. I like it, with a lot of ginger. And I like adding the ginger at this point here because I want the freshness of the ginger to remain until the end. If we seasoned it and we cooked from the start with the ginger in there, it will cook out. I want that ginger to be a star, to be one of the stars of this curry stew chicken wings. We're gonna hit that to stir, and we have that water standing on standby there. We're just trying to cook out everything, and that ginger just brings another depth to the game. Oh Jesus and boy, give this thing a Super Bowl ring, or what do you call it? World Series ring, all kind of ring. Give it a Stanley Cup, give it a World Cup, because you see this thing is just proper, boy. Look at that. All of that liquid is gone. I don't know if you guys can see the oil I was talking about that we started with there. This is exactly where we want this to be at this point. It is about 50% cooked. Here's where we're gonna add the braising liquid and remain on that high heat. Give it a little scrape on the bottom, just in case anything is stuck on the bottom. There's all kind of bun niceness. We call it bun. People call it fond. I mean to say, we fond of that nice gravy. So hey, we're gonna tuck everything down under that water there. No, we do not need chicken stock or vegetable stock. Just plain old water. However, if you want to put a little bit of coconut cream in there, I think so, but don't go too overboard with the coconut milk. I'm gonna bring that up to a boil now, reduce it to a rolling boil, and let that cook for another 7 minutes or so, and we're done. It's been about 10 minutes. The sauce is starting to thicken up. That gravy is starting to thicken up. We've got all those wonderful flavors in there. Here's where you're going to personalize things a couple ways. 1, taste it for salt, and 2, the gravy. It may look a little bit runny at this point here, but what's going to happen is the residual heat on this pot is going to thicken that up considerably once I turn off the stove. That said, I'm going to give this another 2 minutes to cook down a bit more, and then I'm gonna jump in there and enjoy. But before I do, here is where now, and this is my sort of final tip. That herbage, that cilantro, coriander. If you have shadow benny, drop that shadow benny in there, chopped up finely. Sup soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me, email address down here, I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them bots will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at caribbeanpot. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irene. Chris here, caribbeanpot.com. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. We went through the necessary steps, and you notice how thick that gravy is starting to get already. That is with that coriander in there. We went through the steps so you can make the ultimate curry stewed chicken wings. Remember, we started off, we seasoned, we marinated. We added that tomato and the onion to help with the gravy, and that is what we have here. We burnt off all the liquid to intensify the flavor. What did we add? Oh, we added that ginger in there, we added that water in there, and we finished off with that chopped up cilantro. I hope you guys give this one a try. It is so good. Now, the typical question I would get is, Chris, how do you eat this? How do you eat this? With your mouth, what else? I mean, you mean side dish? Yo, you can enjoy this as it is. Just as you would any other chicken wing recipe. I'm going to cook this down a little bit more if you're wondering. With rice, with roti, with ground provision, with your mashed potato. Yeah, don't discriminate. We're making mashed potato too. And one of my favorite things to eat this with during my not so prosperous days was good old mac and cheese. You know, the box stuff, but you have to get the white cheddar. The white cheddar mac and cheese and this curry stew chicken wings. I'm telling you, boy. Oh, look at that. Enjoy all that day, yeah?